this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the PyADS Python development environment that comes with the PyADS Post-Test Explorer system to debug and troubleshoot functions that you add to your calculate matrix. So right now I'm on the calculate page and I've done a search query and I have some results in my matrix, but I don't have any analysis routines in my matrix yet. So I'm going to go ahead and add one right now, but I'm going to add one that's kind of complex. It's a logarithm. It's called a logdec. It's a logarithmic decrement function that we provide with the system. Okay, and I'm going to feed it an input, one of my accelerometers. And you can see this is a more complex analysis function in the sense that it has multiple inputs here. I'm not going to go into detail on what all of this does, but I'm going to run the function. And the logdec is interesting because it's a function that gives us multiple outputs. It's a single function that gives us multiple outputs. I'm going to make the column a little wider here so we can see the results better. So I have my logdec that's been calculated across all of my results. It looks like I got a couple of errors in some of my cells. When you run an analysis function and you see red cells, that means there's been an error of some sort. The Python function raised an exception. And you can find more details on that by hovering over it. And it should tell you what the error was. In this case, my error is an insufficient number of peaks detected. I won't go into what that means. It's something specific to how the logdec function works. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to show you how you can debug what's going on in these functions. So any row with an error is a good candidate to be debugged. So this applies for any analysis routine. If you see a result in your matrix that looks strange or unusual and you want to see how the system calculated it, you can right click on any cell, select debug, cell value, and that's going to bring up the Python IDE that comes with the Post-Test Explorer system. Okay, so this is the IDE and the development environment, and we ran a logdec function. We're debugging a logdec function. And what happened is the system started running the function, but automatically stopped it at the first line of code. Now, if you're familiar with writing Python or any other sort of programming language, you might be familiar with how an integrated development environment works. This one has some similar basic features as other dev environments. You have syntax highlighting of the code. You can set and remove breakpoints. You can step over the code line by line. You can hover over values in the code. You can add values to a watch window down here, so you can track values as they change throughout the code. But this is it's basically a debugging tool. So the function is in the middle of being run, but it's paused. And now you can step through every line and evaluate what's going on and find out why you're getting the result you're getting. So in this case, I've run into the exception that was raised. My number of cycles variable is less than 1. So that's the problem with this particular instance of the function. And I can now take steps in the input of I can adjust the equation in the expression builder if I need to fix that. Or maybe this isn't a bug, maybe this is just an expected result, and this set of data that I fed the function just isn't really applicable. So you can do this with any cell in the matrix. So I'm going to close PyADS, and I'm going to go to a cell that has valid value. I'm going to debug it, cell value. PyADS is going to come up again, and it's going to break on the same function, the logdec function, except now my input's going to be different. I'll have a different set of inputs, and now if I step through the code, I should get a little further. I shouldn't get that exception anymore because there was no error in that row of the matrix. So now I'm stepping through, can evaluate what my frequency and my damping values are. There's other ways to evaluate data. For example, these are the inputs to the function. One of them is called param. I've added that param to the watch window. It's an array of data. And if I double click on it, I get a table here that shows me what all of the values of what values are contained in that array by index. And I can plot that data as well, just to quickly visualize it to see what's going on with it. So, you can step through the code. You can see how exactly it's calculating the values that you're getting in the matrix and why those values are occurring. And so, like I said before, you can debug any analysis function in the system. All of the Python analysis routines that we provide, you can view the source code on them, and you can step through them and see exactly how they're calculating the values that you're getting in the matrix using this Python debugger. And that's a quick overview on how to use the PyADS Python IDE in IADS Post Test Explorer.